Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports. I'm your host, Jake Gardner, alongside my brother, Zach.
What's up, guys?
And we bring you a special episode today. It's our first episode of Fantasy Baseball, so kind of finally wrapping together that we do all four sports, the main four fantasy sports, and this is the first intro episode to that now that the lockout's over and we have baseball coming up. So,
Baseball.
pretty excited. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So today we're going to go over all the offseason moves, and Zach and I are going to give our takes on how this will impact their fantasy value, like if they will be better or worse. And then we will also give our top 10 rankings at each position for fantasy. So, and we're based on enough of points leagues, but it still applies to other leagues as well. Just be aware of that.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. So offseason moves. The Mets signed Max Scherzer, 3 years, $130 million. They signed Eduardo Escobar, 2 years, $20 million. And then Starling Marte, 4 years and $78 million. And Chris Bassett. I don't think I have his contract put up here, but through a trade they got Bassett from Oakland, who,
Yeah.
if you guys were playing fantasy baseball last year, you know he was a top 10 pitcher. So basically a steal. Like if you drafted him late, I mean, huge return on value.
They're looking awesome.
What do you think, Zach? Are the Mets actually going to make playoffs this year? I mean, do they need to re-sign Conforto? Or are they letting Conforto go?
I think they're letting Conforto go.
Okay.
I mean, they look great, man. They look like they're ready for a deep run in the playoffs if they can all stay healthy.
Yeah, they basically have three aces, so now they actually have a really good rotation. I don't know who their 4 and 5 are. I'd have to look that up, but you know, DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, that's a huge 1-2-3 punch. I mean, and we know they have stud hitters.
Yep. Peter Alonso. Now they got Escobar and Starling Marte. I mean, they're looking really fucking good.
And they have
Francisco Lindor.
Yep, the shortstop. Even though he was bad last year, he should have a bounce back year this year.
I think he will, yeah.
So for fantasy, Zach, what do you think about each of these four guys? Will they be better or worse or the same?
I honestly think they'll all be about the same, and that would be really fucking good for them, for the Mets. I think that's best case scenario is these four guys play like they did last year.
Yeah, that's exactly why they signed them. They were all studs last year. I know Marte, Bassett, and Scherzer were for sure. Escobar, do you remember his exact stats last year?
He was really good on Arizona. He was he was like a top 10 I think he was like top 10 third base.
Yeah, I don't really think it affects their rankings, you know what I mean? Like we kind of know what we're going to get, and they're all going to be in a good team now, like full of great players. And then they were kind of before, though, like Max Scherzer was on the Dodgers. The only one who could be better, well, the hitters could be better. Bassett and Scherzer could be the same. Marte was on the Marlins, right? So he could definitely be better with a supporting cast. And Eduardo was on Arizona, like you said, so he could definitely get more. You know, they just could get more runs. What do you think?
Okay. No, I agree there. Yeah, for sure.
Hit Marte, dude, that could be. I had to look at, Yahoo's rankings and ESPN's rankings, but that could be a steal if they don't put him too high. I mean, you never know. But next team, Rangers. Marcus Semien, 7 years, $175 million, shortstop. Corey Seager, also a shortstop, 10 years, $325 million. So they got their guys for the future. They also got John Gray, which I thought I should still mention. I mean,
I like that John Gray move. That might be underrated. He gets out of that shitty ballpark.
Yeah, he might be a lot better. It could be a steal for a pitcher, like a late. You don't reach, but
no, it'd be late pick for sure.
Late pick that could have some upside here. Corey Seager though and Marcus Semien, I mean, they were on better teams before this, so their numbers come down. I mean, but now together they could be.
I don't think their numbers come down.
I mean, they're only two good bats, right?
They're going to put up the same numbers individually, but I don't know if the team obviously isn't as good, but I think the two of them will still be studs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe, their runs could be down, though, or RBI, sorry.
Yeah, maybe, but, I mean, I think they're still going to be, like, top 10, 15 at their position, for sure. I mean, I think that's easy.
For sure. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the Rangers actually making a splash. But
Couple.
it's usually a team that doesn't historically do that a lot. So
Well, by a lot of accounts, they got the best second base and the best shortstop on the market.
I thought they were both shortstop.
I think Semyon plays second base. I think
Maybe he's both. I have
he
him
plays
in my
both.
shortstop rankings.
Oh, okay. Well, he plays second base and shortstop. So
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't rank them. Definitely wouldn't rank them best at their position personally. But we'll get to that. But yeah, for me, like Seager always has some kind of injury where he's out like a month. You know? So then I don't know, he's kind of like a mini Trout in a way, like he's always got something every year. Still, good move for the Rangers to actually get some star-studded talent.
yeah.
Tigers, Javier Baez, 6 years, $140 million. Eduardo Rodriguez, former Boston Red Sox pitcher, also historically hurt a lot. 5 years, $77 million. So, I mean, when Rodriguez is healthy, he pitches pretty dang well. You could tell when he's pitching hurt, and that's always been like the knock. You know, he always gets hurt. But
Yeah.
maybe they see something we don't. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think these are just kind of moves. I don't think Baez is going to make the Tigers a contender. You know,
It's a building block, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it could be.
it could attract other players.
Maybe. Maybe. We'll
Baez
see.
is a big name.
Yeah, he's a big name. I don't
you know
know
what? Actually, I keep always forget, but the Detroit Tigers, dude. I mean, before the Twins made all these moves this offseason, everybody was saying there was talk of the Tigers being the number 2 team to the White Sox, you know, because they have there's a lot of young talent there. So Baez for them is actually pretty smart. Get some veteran leadership in there. Could teach them a few things.
Yeah,
Because
we'll
they're kind of
that all works out.
They what do you call it? Their farm system was a little behind ours, basically, like 4 years behind ours. So their young guys are starting to come up now.
Mm-hmm.
But they had really good prospects, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're kind of on that path. Not that they will be as good, I'm just saying. I don't know, yeah, I feel like his numbers come down. He was on a better team with the Cubs, and then the Mets were, you know, they were bad last year, but he was still better talent around him, unless some other young guys break out on the Tigers. But anyway, yeah, Rodriguez, I'm not too sure about. I mean, that's a lot of money for a guy who gets hurt all the time.
Yeah, we'll see if he can stay healthy for sure.
Mm-hmm. Big move here. Mariners signed Robbie Ray to 5 years, $115 million.
I think that's a good move. They needed a pitcher.
They needed a pitcher, but this is like he had one good year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a lot to bet on.
No, it definitely is. But I think it's a good move for them.
Sure. I mean, he did win the Cy Young.
Yeah.
Adam Frazier for 2 prospects. He was all-star if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was.
Jesse Winker.
He's a good player.
And they got Jesse Winker, who's a great slugger, and Eugenio Suarez through trade from the Reds. And both these guys have been
pretty dang
Jesse
good players.
Winker's. Yeah, Suarez was really good. Then he had a down year. Jesse Winker had his breakout year last year. So kind of a surprise move from the Reds, don't you think? I mean,
the Reds are tanking again.
Yeah, I feel like that was stupid, but whatever.
They lost like everybody off that team, man, from last year.
Yep. It's kind of sad, but
it is.
It is what it is for the Mariners. I mean, we know they had their God. Who's the rookie there? They
got some good young ball players coming up through the club.
Oh my God! No, he was a second year last year, but he was a contender for rookie of the year before. Remember the outfielder there? What's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Mitch.
That's when we shared a team. No, Mitch Haniger's there too.
Oh, the young guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Well, now I gotta know.
Yeah, we'll find it. Look it up.
Kyle Lewis?
Yeah, Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, and they got Mitch. It's not going to be like a contender or anything, but this makes them way better than they were.
Yeah.
Cubs, Marcus Strowman, 3 years, $70 million. And they got
Not
the
a
big prospect out of Japan, Saya Suzuki,
not a
5
fan of
years,
Marcus.
85 million.
Not a fan of Marcus Strowman.
Yeah, he talks a lot of crap for being a
He-
mediocre pitcher.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
You'd think based on Cubs fans and Marcus Stroman himself, you'd think that they signed like Jacob deGrom or something. Like this guy
it'd
just needs to kind
it'd
of
be a
take a
good number
pill.
two for them.
He's a decent pitcher, but like I'm not a Cubs fan, and B, this guy drives me nuts. So. The Seiya Suzuki though, that's going to be a good move. I like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They got the best Japanese hitter. So
will it translate to?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
is he good enough to be? I mean, I was reading up on how the Japanese leagues is just, or any league outside of MLB is just not the same. Like,
yeah. But usually maybe 10th, 8th, 10th round pick. I'd take him then. Like,
yeah, it's definitely like there could be some slump periods he's got to adjust. So,
and he's on a shit team too.
they have some. I mean, I'm still mad that they got our second baseman, and
yeah, they got Frank Schwindel.
My gosh,
finishes his shift at the grocery store, then comes and bats clean up for the Cubs.
oh my gosh, no, they have the two on base hitters, dude. They have
they got
Nicky Two Strikes.
Yep, Nick Madrigal,
and they already had the other guy on base guy. What's his name? Nico?
Yeah, no. Nico. Oh, Nico Horner.
Yeah, so they have two guys who can always get on base. I mean, they're trying to get maybe Suzuki could be. I feel like he can get on base. He can do a lot of everything, but
yeah, but I mean, they got to get some. I think they need some proven home run hitters on that team, which they don't have. But I mean, Madrigal and Horner are going to be great for when they do get good in a few years.
What about their first baseman who broke out last year, 29 years old, Patrick Wisdom?
Schwindel?
No, Patrick Wisdom.
Oh, Patrick Wisdom.
Remember it?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I do remember Patrick Wisdom hit like 25 homers in like, I don't know, 50 games, 45 games or something. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Like, it's insane. But I don't know I don't know how good he really is. We got to see for more than just half a season,
Yeah, but you got to be pretty impressed with the Cubs. With you think it's going to be a longer rebuild, but if you really look at it, they have really good young talent already set up right now.
Yeah, they got some.
The pitching, like hitting at least, the pitching is not there yet. I mean, Hendricks will leave eventually. Strowman's a fill-in because they didn't have any pitching, but
he's old too. Strowman's probably got a few good years left
for sure. Let's go to the Angels here. Noah Syndergaard, 1 year, $21 million, so like a risk, but possible high reward.
Yeah, that could be huge. I'm eyeing Syndergaard later.
And then Rise. Oh God, how do you guys say this guy's name?
Raisel Iglesias.
4 year, $58 million. That's their closer, correct?
Yeah, he's a pretty good closer too.
People have him ranked pretty high for this year going into it. What do you think of these moves? Does that help them?
I think Syndergaard could be great. Just how healthy is he? Raisel Iglesias, I mean, that's fine, but like he's only going to be good if the team's good, getting wins and actually getting out there more often to close games.
Yeah, they need Trout to be healthy with Ohtani to make some.
Syndergaard could be the key here. If they have a true ace pitcher, then that's what they haven't had since Trout's been there, an ace pitcher.
Well, Ohtani, but yeah, they need a guy.
Well, Ohtani, I don't even think is an ace pitcher though. I think Ohtani at best is like a second pitcher.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, they need Syndergaard to really take off. I think they signed Andrew Heaney too or something. I didn't put that on here, but that'll help fill the rotation.
Yeah. And then we'll see if Jared Walsh has a bounce back year as well. Like they could be good if everybody's healthy. Or bounce back year if Jared Walsh continues.
I was going to say
what he did. Yeah, I don't know why I said
he had because he had a bad second half. He had a big first half. And he kind of slowed down a little bit for the second half. He was still good, but yeah, we'll talk about him more. But yeah, he should keep it up too, I think. I mean, just imagine being next to Mike Trout and, Ohtani, you just got to get on base.
Yeah.
Marlins. Avisail Garcia, 4 years, $53 million. Jacob Stallings for 3 young players. Joey Wendell. So I put some actually weaker names on here. Jorge Soler, 3 years, $36 million.
Yeah, I think the big ones are Avi and Jorge.
Yep.
I think those guys are going to be very good outfielders for them.
Yeah, Garcia was the guy who broke out on Texas last year, right?
No, this is a different guy. I think they got Avi from Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's where he was last year. Oh, no, Avi Garcia was on Milwaukee, I think. He's a pretty good hitter. He used to be on the White Sox. He was a pretty good hitter for them.
Oh yeah, I did mix up guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know. They didn't re-sign Marte. That would have been their best guy to get.
Yeah, well, the Jorge Soler one intrigues me.
Yeah, he was the hero of the World Series, so maybe he can keep that fire going.
Yep.
Blue Jays might be the winners of the offseason.
Who's Kikuchi?
Oh, he was a Seattle pitcher last year who was pretty, he was very good strikeout guy. He was basically for baseball, he was a stream pitcher because, you couldn't trust the team to back him up.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's on a way better team.
Gausman's okay. I mean, and Barrios is okay.
I think they filled in their pitching perfectly.
Jose
Perez,
like the Matt Chapman move.
Anyway, yeah, let's say him. Jose Perez, 7 years, $131 million. Kevin Gausman, 5 year, $110 million. Kikuchi, 3 year, $36 million. And then they traded for Matt Chapman from Oakland.
Yeah, that's the big one. I like that move a lot. I think he's going to be great on Toronto.
Yeah, but I think the pitching's underrated. Yes, these aren't the top pitchers in the league, but they need guys who could just service them 5 innings so that their hitters can just outscore you,
Yeah, I gotcha.
They need... That's definitely what their weakest point, because they obviously have all these young, great hitters. So
yeah, and then that also means it's official. There's going to be no third base played from Vlad Jr. He's not going to be a third baseman.
He's playing first.
Yeah, he's locked in as their first baseman. He was coming up through the minors as a third baseman, so that's what everyone thought he would play. But that's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah. So. No, they don't want him overextending himself on the defensive end. They just want him slugging.
I'm pretty high on the Matt Chapman thing, though. I think he's going to be a top 10 third base.
Bounce back for sure. He had a horrible year last year.
Terrible, and that's the only outlying bad year of his career too. So
yeah, so definitely better than last year. We'll see if it could be like a career year,
Yeah,
but we'll talk about him more in our rankings for sure. Cardinals, their biggest move was adding Steven Matz, 4 years, $44 million.
I like it.
He was in the Blue Jays, so the Blue Jays lost him. But
he's okay.
Cardinals definitely need some depth. I mean, that's a good 4th or 5th pitcher.
Definitely.
That's what they signed him for.
Yep.
White Sox, basically, on paper, we're supposed to be the best bullpen with these 2 moves. Kendall Graveman, Joe Kelly.
Yep.
And obviously, we just re-signed the guy from the Cubs.
They're putting together a hell of a team for 1987.
It's a great bullpen. They all have to produce, though. Last year, they came into the year, and they were supposed to be the best bullpen ever then.
Yep, all bullpen.
And they all kind of busted.
And all run scoring. I mean, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, they need to bounce back this year.
They need to sign a slugger, I think, and then I'll start believing that they'll actually can do something in the playoffs. They need to get a slugger right fielder, and then I'll feel a lot better.
For sure. And then they got Josh Harrison for second base. So
yep,
just a fill-in piece. Good defense, if I'm not mistaken.
I do like the bullpen guys. Don't get me wrong. I like Kendall Graveman and Joe Kelly. That's awesome. But
yeah, me too.
Get me some hitting.
For sure. Twins, dude. Big moves here. Big moves. They got to be up there in the rankings of off-season, prosperity. Byron Buxton, 7 years, $100 million, but it's based on it's all incentive based, so I think that's because of all his injury history.
Injury history and sucking history too. For a long time, he wasn't good.
Yeah,
And he was their top prospect.
But he did break out last year before he got hurt.
For a couple months.
But basically, if he could stay healthy, he's getting more money. So that's kind of what it comes down to. And I thought that was a good move for them.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray, they got him through a trade. Pretty good.
Good move.
Middle pitcher. I like it. And they got Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela from the Yankees. I like these moves as well.
Yeah, I like those moves a lot. Gio Urshela has a lot of upside.
Yeah, Gio does. Sanchez probably needed a new... What do you call it?
Needed a change of scenery.
I think he needed a change of scenery to maybe get out of his own head or his ego or whatever. And
the Twins have a hitter-friendly ballpark, too. So I think he'll hit a bunch of bombs.
And then Carlos Correa, 3 years, $105 million.
Yeah.
That's the big one. This team is going to compete with the Sox, bro. No doubt.
Definitely. I think they might be better than the Sox, honestly, dude. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I think they are, man. What have the Sox proven? That they're going to get swept?
Well, we haven't proven anything in the playoffs.
Yeah, they can make it in because they got an easy division, and now they don't have an easy division anymore. So, I don't know. I hope that it's not all overrated for the Sox players, but, I don't know. They haven't proven nothing in the playoffs, and they've been there 2 years.
They should come back with a fire. They're beating themselves up. Don't doubt it.
We'll see. I think they like reading the headlines about themselves, too.
What? Yeah, you talk to them? Phillies, bro. Couple of sneaky good moves. Personally, my take. Corey Knebel and Brad Hand, both 1-year deals. Corey Knebel, $10 million. Brad Hand, $6 million.
I like both of those.
Both former closers.
Yep.
So they're going to be competing for the job. And I really liked them before. And then the Phillies, 2 big outfielder moves. Got Kyle Schwarber.
Yep.
And they got Nick Castellanos, 5-year, $100 million.
That's awesome. Those are awesome moves.
Going to back up Bryce Harper here. And those two next to Harper, Hoskins. Who am I missing on the team? A couple other hitters I like. Who's the second baseman?
Gene Segura.
Yes, Gene. Dude, they could actually make a playoff run this year.
I think they could, man. That's some moves. Good moves for them. Great moves.
Yeah, and their weakest link was the bullpen.
They added,
they had nothing last year.
If you think they can keep it up, they added 60 home runs to the outfield.
Yeah, dude, Schwarber's underrated. Beast move. So I really like the Phillies this year. Dodgers, Chris Taylor, 4 years, $60 million. Clayton Kershaw, 1-year deal. So just coming back with the team going for one more chip. Freddie Freeman, 6 years, $162 million.
Huge move, man. Look at that lineup. Murderers Row. Murderers Row 2. That
what got them knocked out last year? They're so stacked. You know what I mean? They had Scherzer, now they don't. But
it's just weird. One of those weird things. You thought that they were just
automatic. Who knocked them out again? Was it Atlanta?
Was it? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Atlanta. Didn't they win in the World Series?
Thank God for Atlanta.
Yeah.
No, they beat them to go to the World Series. I thought.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And nobody thought they could. Crazy.
Yeah.
And then they signed Freddie Freeman, the guy who beat him. So he beat their ass, and now he's robbing them. Let's go. I mean, not robbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Dodge for fantasy purposes. Obviously, all these guys will stay the same. Phillies. You know what? I should go back to the Phillies. The relievers. Which one do you think will be the reliever that somebody should draft, Zach? Knebel or Brad Hand?
I would probably go Knebel.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I want to say Knebel too. We'll get the closer job, but Brad Hand has also done it before, so just keep watching them closely on if they announce it before the season.
Yeah,
and draft accordingly. And yeah, stop me if you want to talk about any guy's fantasy value. I don't want to miss that for sure. Giants, Carlos Rodon, 2 years, $44 million. What do you think, Zach?
I like it. It's a good move. It sucks that the Sox are letting him go after he finally had a great fucking year. But I'm always gonna.
Go ahead.
I've always been a big fan of Carlos Rodon, and was so happy that he finally put it together last season, and then he's gone. But I figured it would happen. They wanted to figure out a way to get Michael Kopech starting. So
yeah, dude, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Giants Stadium is a pitcher park.
I think it is. Yeah.
Maybe I'm mixing that up.
No, I don't think you are. I think I've heard that before too.
So could he be better?
I don't know about better. I think he'll just maybe be the same as he was last year, which was a stud, and see if he can sustain it for a whole season into the playoffs. Because remember, dude, the last month of the season and into the playoffs, he was just done. His arm was like limp.
Yeah, but it's a pitcher's park, and we're talking about before he was getting hurt, possible Cy Young.
No, definitely. That's why I
think he's a steal.
Yeah, and they're paying him pretty good too for one good year. They're paying him $22 million for only one good year out of like 7 years. So they're taking a big swing with that.
But in fantasy, he's not even ranked in the top 10 right now. So he great mid-round.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I would go for him. I would take the risk. I don't know. I think he figured out how to not injure himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not to overexert. Yankees, dude. Josh Donaldson through a trade.
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo 2-year deal.
Yeah,
I like it.
They both get hurt a lot, though. I don't know if I think those are great moves. I think they're good moves.
Hitter's Park, though, right?
Hitter's Park, yeah, fine. But I mean, Rizzo and Donaldson. That's 80 games on the DL between them.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see.
On the IL, I think it's the injured list now. But yeah.
Yeah, Josh Donaldson for sure. Anthony Rizzo doesn't always get hurt. Like his
the last 2 years, he's been missing a lot of time, dude. More than you think, honestly. If you go look,
I'd have to look it up. Okay, well,
he misses like 20 games a year at least.
Yeah, I mean, they did have the different lists have these guys outside the top 10, probably because of that.
Yeah, it's because of their age and injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're healthy, great moves.
Yeah, if they could stay healthy. And that they needed to keep Rizzo because they had what was the problem? They only had right-handed hitters in Rizzo's left, and they needed lefties, so they kind of had to sign him. Like,
yep,
you don't trade for him and then not get and then lose him.
Yeah, everybody's looking for that stud left-handed hitter because there's so many more right-handed hitters that you can find a lot more easily.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the White Sox lineup is so weird because there's all like left-handed guys.
That is weird. Yeah. No, Nationals, though, signed Nelson Cruz to a 1-year deal, so that'll be their DH. What do you think?
It's a great move. All he does is hit dingers, dude. He rolls out of bed in the morning, makes himself some coffee, and hits dingers.
Yeah, him and Soto, that'd be nice. If Nelson Cruz can... I don't know. I mean, you always got to think Nelson Cruz could finally be done, because he's 40, but he's built. I don't know, dude. Yeah. It's just like if your eyes slow down at this point, because his body obviously is fine for baseball.
Yeah.
So you need your eyes to keep up, but he's been doing well.
He doesn't play a position, so I mean, all he has to do is go out there and hit dingers.
Yeah.
It really is the eyes that you worry about.
How high? We'll get back to him in rankings. We'll get back to him.
Yeah.
Braves. Matt Olson blockbuster.
Yeah.
So I loved this move, dude.
If you're gonna replace Freddie Freeman, that's
you go younger.
You go younger for a guy that plays the same kind of way. Like is a very good hitter like Freeman. He's not going to be exactly Freeman special, but Olson's a very damn good player too. So I mean, they did about as well as you could do losing a superstar.
Freeman, well, they did Matt Olson before they lost Freddie.
Well, I think they only did it because they knew they were losing Freddie. So that it doesn't matter about the timing. They knew that Freeman didn't want to be back. So.
He said that?
I'm pretty sure.
I think they wanted to go younger, dude. I think they're a smart organization.
No, I think Freeman told them that he wanted a trade to somewhere else.
I never saw that. Okay.
I think I saw that.
They went, I thought this was really smart by them. They went younger for a guy who last year was just as good as Freeman. and they signed him for 8 years. So that this way he matches up with their other young stars, because Freddie Freeman was gonna kind of age out.
Yeah.
So this will keep their team relevant for longer, which was
a great move.
Yeah, I love it. Matt Olson obviously kind of stays the same, maybe more RBIs, because the team's definitely better than Oakland was.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll be about the same. He was getting a lot of RBIs in Oakland as well.
Yeah, but the Oakland was just struggling. Like a lot of the rest of the hitters were struggling to get on base. There'll be more guys at the Braves, especially with their boy
Ozzie
back.
Albies.
No, not even Ozzie, but Acuna. They didn't even play
Acuna
with the last half of the year, and they won without him.
Yeah, well, because they got Soler, and then Soler ended up just figuring out how to play baseball again.
Yeah. And then they got Eddie Rosario, who was a hero for them in the playoffs. 2 years, $18 million. And then Kenley Jansen, 1 year, $16 million. So they got a closer.
So that's what I was, because everybody's ranking Will Smith so high. But Kenley Jansen, I think, is going to be the closer now. So I think Will Smith kind of gets phased out.
Yeah, I think he was outside of the top 10, but he was still like, in one of the lists I was looking at, he was still like 13 or something, because everybody knows Kenley's like on the downhill.
Yeah. And he also can get hurt because of his age.
Yeah, well, he was just giving up so many home runs last year. His speed was a bit gone, kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
So they're just testing him out. Maybe he'll have one more good year, and they can go for another chip, really. They're ready to go for one.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I love this for the Rockies. Chris Bryant signed a 7-year deal for $182 million.
I'm really eyeing Chris Bryant this year just because
it's a hitter's park.
Yeah, I think he could match his
him, dude.
He could match his MVP when he was with his great year with the Cubs. I think he could match that on the Rockies. I totally
agree. He just has to stay healthy.
And he's still a young guy too, so it's like, can he just have 1 year where he doesn't get effed with injuries?
If he could stay healthy, I'd bet he's a top 5 third baseman. Sorry.
And it's always weird fluky shit with Chris Bryant too. Like, he gets hit on the hand when he's batting, or he dislocates a finger sliding into a base or something. It's always weird stuff like that. I mean, that stuff that you can avoid. That fluky stuff doesn't always happen, but it seems like it happens every single year with Bryant, like he's cursed or something.
Yeah, definitely. And so what do you think, over 30 homers?
I think I think that's an easy bet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
37 dingers.
Plus 37. Oh.
I'm going 37 dingers and 103 RBIs for Bryant this year.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, I could definitely see it, bro. It'd be great.
And they're going to be out of the playoffs, but he'll do good.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure. They are not a contender.
Far fucking from it.
Padres, they got Luke Voit from the Yankees, and the Yankees just they couldn't hold him.
It's like the one position they needed, I think, and they got a slugger there.
Which is what they wanted. Yep.
Yeah.
You want a home run hitter, so I like it. I mean, it's just like a discount first baseman that can play.
Yeah, I mean, a
big name, but
not paying him a ton of money, and he can hit you 20 bombs,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So I definitely like that for them, too. And then Red Sox, this just came in this morning. Trevor Story, 6 years, $140 million, so now they have a big 3.
Yeah, that's a scary move, honestly. Trevor Story is very underrated. A lot of people never really mention him in top shortstop category, but he's a very freaking good player. Everybody always does that, though, with players from Colorado, just because it's a hitter's ballpark. But he's a good defensive player too, though. So he's not just a good hitter; he's a great shortstop.
Yeah, dude. Him next to Devers and Bogarts,
that's scary. Honestly,
gotta be one of the best.
Are they going to play? They're going to play him at second base, right? Because Bogarts,
because they're both shortstops. So I don't know what the official ruling is.
They'll probably put Story at second.
Yeah, they'll have to figure it out. Or Bogarts can move because he's really good.
Yeah, they could play second, honestly.
Isn't Bogarts a Gold Glove? Am I wrong?
Yeah, and so is Story, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? Okay. That's great. This is a great team.
Yeah, There was one year where I think Bogarts won Gold Glove in American League and Story won it in the National League.
For sure. Yeah, the only thing is for the Red Sox, if Devers turns it off again, it seems like it's every other year for him that he's good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Devers is locked in now.
Yeah.
I don't know about his. I wouldn't bet on the every other year thing anymore. But it definitely was like that for like his first 3 seasons.
For sure. First 4, yeah.
First 4, yeah. It was like great, bad, great, bad.
Mm-hmm. Last year was great, for sure.
Okay, the opposite maybe, but yeah.
Won that chip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's, those are all the biggest moves. You know, if we miss anybody, please comment it, but we did our research here. And we just going over guys who would actually draft in fantasy. Obviously, there were a lot of other moves.
Yeah.
We did not have time to talk about every little move.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over our rankings for the people. Am I right?
Yeah, let's do it. Rankings.
Okay, so how do you want to do this? I go my 1 through 10 starting pitchers, and then you say yours, and we just
yeah, let's do that. Yeah, a little discussion.
Okay. So my starting pitchers, top 10: Garrett Cole, Zach Wheeler, Walker Buehler. I have Walker Buehler, like, I don't know. I was looking at other lists. He was like 5 or 6, and I definitely think being one of the guys who stays on the field all season.
I totally agree with that one. I also have
worth
Buehler
a lot more
as my 3rd as well.
And then Bieber had a down year last year, so he was a little down, but I put him at 4. I think he'll bounce back. Corbin Burns, number 5.
Bieber fever.
I put Jacob deGrom at 6 because he would usually be number 2, but he has been hurt like the past 3 years, on and off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Bareilles I have at 7 because he's just with this team who's just going to keep getting him wins.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they're going to win a lot this year. And
yeah,
he's a great pitcher, so I definitely bumped him a bit. Aaron Nola at 8. He had a down year last year, and so I think he'll bounce back. Lucas Giolito at 9, expecting to bounce back. And then Brandon Woodruff also in the Milwaukee, number 10.
Okay. Mine's pretty different from yours.
Really?
A lot of similar names, but I took some similar things with some other guys, not the same guys as you, and mine's definitely a little bit different, but the beginning is kind of the same. I got number 1, Garrett Cole, obviously, and then number 2, Max Scherzer. I think he's going to be great again. And then number 3, Walker Buehler. And then number 4, I really like Corbin Burns. I think he's gonna even more improve this year. He's gonna be one of the next like stud top pitchers.
Okay.
And then I also like Brandon Woodruff. He's another good pitcher. Like Milwaukee has 2 great pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 6, Aaron Nola. I also think he's gonna have a bounce back year. And then number 7, Yu Darvish. I think he's gonna have a great year.
For sure.
And number 8, Jacob deGrom. And then number 9, Shane Bieber. And number 10, Lucas Giolito, who I was really deciding between Giolito and Wheeler for that 10th spot. And I just put Giolito there because I think he's going to have a bounce back year.
For sure. Yeah, I guess I kept Scherzer out, which maybe I shouldn't have. But I was going with some guys, a lot of younger guys, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Scherzer has slowly been... He's been slowing down a bit. I mean, obviously the deep analytics guys probably know a little bit more than me if they signed him for 3 years, but yeah, I don't know. He's obviously right there at the 10 for me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then Yu Darvish, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't have him as top 10.
I gotcha. I'm just thinking that he's going to have a really good bounce back year and be great again. Like he was a couple years ago, so.
All right, dude. Relief pitchers. I have Josh Hader, Liam Hendricks, Raisel Iglesias, Emmanuel Clace, Edwin Diaz, Ryan Presley, Aroldis Chapman, Will Smith, Jordan Romano, Corey Knebel. So I moved Knebel up just because I think he'll get the closer job.
Okay.
For the Phillies, and they'll get a lot of wins.
Gotcha. Mine's very similar, just a little bit different order, basically. I got Josh Hader, number 1, Liam Hendricks, number 2, Edwin Diaz, number 3, because I think the Mets are going to be fucking...
Yeah, a lot better this year, yeah.
Yeah, and then number 4, Aroldis Chapman. I think he kind of bounces back from his weird year last year.
Okay.
Number 5, Raisel Iglesias. I think no matter what way you slice it, I think the Angels are going to be better this year.
Yep.
Number 6, Kenley Jansen. I have him in there instead of Will Smith because I just think he's going to be the main closer.
Okay.
Number 7, Ryan Presley. Number 8, Mark Melanson. Number 9, Emmanuel Clace. And number 10, Jordan Romano.
Okay, so yeah, we're definitely a little bit different,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the same names. Yeah, I took Kenley out because I just feel like, I mean, I had him last year, and I don't even know if he broke the top 10 with all his struggles, so maybe he bounces back, but...
I'm just betting on a bounce back, that's all.
For sure. First base, I have Vlad Jr., Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, Pete Alonso, Jose Abreu, Paul Goldschmidt, Jared Walsh, Josh Bell, Rhys Hoskins, Anthony Rizzo. So I put Anthony Rizzo at 10 because I think he could have a bounce back.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of missing Rhys Hoskins for my top 10, but I think he definitely could crack the top 10 for sure. But I got Vlad Jr., Freddie Freeman, Jose Abreu, Pete Alonso, Matt Olson, Max Muncy, Paul Goldschmidt, Anthony Rizzo, Trey Mancini, and then Jared Walsh is my number 10.
Okay. And Max Muncy's the guy in the Dodgers?
Yep.
So you got him in the top 10? Okay.
Yep, he's usually pretty good, too. He usually is top 10, I think.
They got Freddie now. So are they moving him to DH? Something? Maybe? Right?
Oh, you know what? I think that was before the trade where I would the list that I was looking at.
Okay.
But I mean, he's still going to be first base eligible because he played it last year. So
yeah, I wonder what they're going to do then.
You're still going to be able to. Still, technically, could be a top 10 first base this year, even if he doesn't play it.
For sure.
So I'll just leave it.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Trey Mancini, dude. He probably should have been my 10, but I was like, Rizzo could still do it.
That was the same thing I was choosing to, because I knew I wanted to have Jared Walsh as my 10th. I had Mancini as my 9th. I was choosing between him and Rizzo for the 9th spot.
And I just thought Rhys Hoskins with this new lineup around him will play better.
But, yeah, I forgot about Rhys Hoskins. I think he could be top 10 easily too.
No worries. And Josh Bell, only reason I put him in here is because a lot of people were... I was going off of some other lists and deciding on my own, but he was always in the top 10 on these lists, and I was like, all right, I mean, he must be ready for a bounce back, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember how he finished at the end of last year, but I'm pretty sure he had a bad first half and then he got better.
Yeah.
But that could be my worst. I just was confused on why he was in these rankings in the first place, but I'm going to have to look more into that maybe right after this. Second base, I have Ozzy Albies. Is that how you say his last name?
Ozzy Albies.
Ozzy Albies, Brandon Lowe, Jonathan India, Jose Altuve, Whit Merrifield, Max Muncy, DJ LeMahieu, I'm betting on a bounce back, Tommy Edman, Enrique Hernandez, Ketel Marte.
Okay. Definitely different than my list.
Okay. Who do you got?
I got Ozzy Albies.
Okay.
Jose Altuve. Whit Merrifield.
Okay.
DJ LeMahieu, number 4, and then 5th, Ketel Marte.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Marcus Semien 6.
Okay.
Trey Turner 7. And Brandon Lau 8. And then 9.
It's low, yeah.
And then 9, I got Jazz Chisholm.
Wow, you're a believer.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I watched some games. I think he's going to be a stud. And then 10, Gene Segura.
Yeah, the team's just going to be better. That's for sure. So that's definitely not a bad one. Yeah, some of these rankings, one of the lists I was looking at, DJ was outside the top 10.
Wow.
No joke, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. I feel like that was his worst year, and he's going to be a lot better this year. Like,
yeah.
He shouldn't be ranked low. He was at, so at the one list I'm looking at right now, he was at 11. and I bumped him up.
Mm-hmm.
Third base, I have Rafael Devers, Jose Ramirez, Austin Riley, Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado, Alex Bregman, Yohan Moncada, Chris Bryant, Matt Chapman, Anthony Rendon. Bounce back.
Okay. Mine's a little different than that. I got Rafael Devers, number 1. Number 2, Manny Machado. I think he's going to break out this, be like a stud this year.
Okay.
Number 3, Jose Ramirez. Number 4, Nolan Arenado. Number 5, Chris Bryant. Number 6, Alex Bregman. Number 7, Yohan Moncada. Number 8, Justin Turner. Then 9, Austin Riley. And 10, Matt Chapman.
For sure. Yeah, Turner, I just feel like has been slowly declining, so I took him out.
Yeah, I couldn't. I still like him.
For sure.
He's got a red beard. Us red-bearded guys got to stick together.
Makes sense. I totally. I would have put Moncada higher. I just couldn't put him past Bregman yet.
Oh, I think that he, 5 or 6, 7. That's about where he, normally is. Him even being in the top 10, I think would be. I'd love that as a White Sox fan.
He's done that, hasn't he?
He's done it, not last year, but he's done it in the past once.
Okay. God, he should just. You keep waiting for his official.
Yeah, because
star year. He's been good, but not good enough.
Everybody talks about him everyone says that he's got MVP potential. Yep. Just waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, same with a couple of our other guys, but just holding our breath.
It's starting to with Yohan Moncada too, man. It's starting to be the annoying, stupid injuries every year.
Totally, dude. Totally. I agree. Shortstop, I have Bo Bichetti. I really think he's gonna keep coming into his own here. Trey Turner, Xander Bogaerts, Trevor Story, Marcus Semien, Fernando Tatis Jr. I just have him at 6 because of he's supposed to miss a couple months, but I couldn't take him out. I couldn't take him out of the top 10.
Yeah.
Then I have Lindor. I know he had a horrible year last year, but I think that was an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of his career has been amazing. So, and then 8, Tim Anderson, 9, Wander Franco, 10, Corey Seager.
Nice. All right, I got some similar names. So, number 1, Bo Bichette.
Okay.
Number 2, Corey Seager. Number 3, Carlos Correa. Number 4, Xander Bogaerts. Number 5, Tim Anderson. And then number 6, Trevor Story. Number 7, Fernando Tatis. Number 8, Francisco Lindor. Okay. And number 9, Javi Baez. And number 10, I think this guy is going to have a great year. Adalberto Mondesi.
Will he stay healthy?
That's the thing, Willie.
Yeah.
He was great in his 5 games he played last year.
Yeah, if he could figure out how to not overexert, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we're pretty similar in that one. I don't think there's much discussion there.
Well, Mondesi. Didn't know if you'd have him or not.
Wait, did I not have Correa in here? No, I didn't. Oops. He gets hurt a lot though, doesn't he? I don't. You know what? He was right outside my top 10. I put it was between him and Seager for me, and I put Seager. But Correa's on the better team, so I might switch those actually.
Gotcha.
Now that I'm thinking about it, so I might actually switch that. I put Carlos Correa at 10 because Corey Seager also has the injury history. Outfield, I have Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Trout, Yordan Alvarez, Aaron Judge, Kyle Tucker, Nick Castellanos, George Springer. What do you got?
Okay. I got number 1, Juan Soto. Number 2, Mookie Betts. Number 3, Bryce Harper. Number 4, Kyle Tucker. Number 5, Aaron Judge. Number 6, George Springer.
Okay.
Number 7, Mike Trout. Number 8, Nick Castellanos. Number 9, Christian Yelich. And number 10, JD Martinez.
Nice. You still believe in JD, huh? I mean, he's still
Mm-hmm.
really good. Yeah, Yelich, I don't know, with his history, I left him out of there. I didn't think he would be top 10, but
Yeah.
also I was seeing people put Joey Gallo because he's on the Yankees now, and I know that they banned the shift, so that's good for Gallo, but still, I just don't see him top 10. Okay, last year he was really hot for a bit, and he was like number 6, but then he fell off, I believe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just feel like there's a lot of good outfielders. I mean, we're talking about leaving out Luis Robert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I think he could easily be in there, but I don't know if I'm ready
Yeah,
to project that yet.
me either. Me either, bro. I
And the
couldn't
same
do
thing
it.
with the other outfielder, Jimenez. He could be a top 10
Yeah,
outfielder as well.
if he could not be an idiot on defense and get hurt. Yeah.
He's just such a goofball, dude. It's like, come on, just focus on catching the ball.
Stupid ass, yeah. Uh, dude, no, I totally want him to be great. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we're paying you a lot of money. Stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean totally me. I'm part of that front
Yep.
office and
Yeah,
part of that decision.
we buy $20 tickets once a year. We pay.
Yeah, we pay. We pay for you, bitch.
We go on Dollar Hot Dog Day.
Oh my god. Well, with inflation, that's gonna be $2 hot dog day now.
Oh, screw that. Not going.
Yep. Catchers. So this one was harder because obviously it's not a very deep position. But I put JT Realmuto, Salvador Perez, Will Smith, Yasmani Grandal, Wilson Contreras, Covert Ruiz, Dalton Varsho, Adley Rutschman, Travis Dearned, Tyler Stevenson.
Okay, you mentioned 5 catchers and then a bunch of other guys I have no idea.
Yeah, I could go over them when you're done if you want.
Yeah, if you would. I just want to get through mine real quick.
Okay.
Number 1, JT Realmuto. Number 2, Salvador Perez. Number 3 is Manny Grandal. Number 4, Will Smith. Number 5, Wilson Contreras. Number 6, Buster Posey. I think he's going to do good again, even though he's old. Number 7, Gary Sanchez. And then number 8, I'm taking a kind of a flyer on this one, James McCann. I think he bounces back.
Okay, is he still with the Mets?
Yep.
Okay.
And then number 9, Christian Vasquez. And number 10, Sean Murphy.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so some of these guys are like younger catchers that people are kind of high on. So Covert Ruiz was my number 6, and he
Cockbert?
yeah, he was the second. He was breaking out in the second half last year. But on the season, he hit 261 with a pair of homers and 12 RBI in 79 plate appearances. And basically, like people are saying, his arrow's pointing up for the fantasy draft of 2022. So he's on the Washington Nationals. I didn't say that, but yeah, 23 years old. It looked like he was heating up last year. He could be good. You know Varsho, right?
Yeah, I think yeah.
So he was he's like a streamer last year. He had one really good hot streak for the Diamondbacks, and he was actually a really highly touted prospect until he kept getting injured. But yeah, he finished the year pretty strong. Anyway, it's just like the hope that he's still only 25 years old. He's had a lot of injuries, but you know, he had a good second half, and people are hoping that he can kind of come to what he was supposed to be or drafted as. He finished the year .246 batting average, 41 runs, 11 home runs, 38 RBI, 6 stolen bases. But he had like I don't know if you'd have to look up the hot streak, but it was like 2 weeks of just like dominance. So I streamed him during that last year.
Okay, nice.
And then he got hurt again, I believe. I'd have to look up the details. And then Adley Rutschman, he's in the minors right now. But the hope is he comes up for the Baltimore Orioles. And he's just,
Ooh, yeah,
he's
I've heard of this guy. He's their number one pick
okay.
from a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says, I'm looking at this right now. It says he won't be on the opening day roster, but the
He's
manager called it a tiny blip in a long career. So
he's
yeah, people are pretty high on him, dude.
he's the MLB's top prospect right now, isn't he?
I don't know about that.
I
Is he
think he is.
a
He's very
catcher?
highly touted. Yeah, I mean, it
Okay.
doesn't happen that often, but that's like how Buster
Yeah.
Posey was. Very highly touted prospect.
In Double A, he slashed .271, .392, .508 with 18 homers, 55 RBI, and a 57-55 KBB ratio in 80
Okay.
games.
Pretty damn good.
And then before hitting .213 over 157 at bats in AAA at the end of the season.
Not that great.
No, but yeah, like you said, people are pretty high on him. So, and it sounds like he is coming up this year. That's why he's ranked, because you never know if they could just totally kill it in the majors right away. Some guys do,
Yeah.
right?
No, definitely.
Catcher for the Atlanta Braves, Travis D'Arnaud. Maybe you could tell me how to say that. Zach.
Darnaud.
Darnard. Okay.
Darnaud. Yeah. Darnar.
Just
Narnar.
basically because he's on the Braves, he could just have a serviceable year for you, and
Yeah.
nothing crazy, but I don't know. People are high on him, so I've kind of maybe bought that a little bit. Quality defensive catcher, and
Highest quality.
I think he's better than William Contreras. So
I'd bet that too.
yeah,
another guy to watch.
Yeah.
Tyler Stevenson on Cincinnati.
That's my number 10. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I guess you just weren't listening to my list. But
shut up.
Yeah, so he was my number 10. You could probably actually move him above the last guy.
I like this guy because he can definitely play. He plays a really good first base too, so he's definitely going to be out there this season for sure. After they got rid of their whole starting squad from last year, bringing up the minor leagues.
It says he should be a fixture in the middle of the lineup throughout the season.
Yeah,
and like you said, the way their roster is currently constructed, it wouldn't be surprising to see him log extra at bats at the DH spot.
No, it would not at all.
So.
That's a great sentence.
Catcher and DH. If you could play a DH at catcher,
that's a nice way of saying they have a shitty roster.
Yeah. Plus having an extra, like if you had him as your catcher, he's also hitting DH, right? And then you also draft a DH. You got some sluggers, and that actually makes your catcher spot.
And he has been very good at his very limited at bats the last 2 seasons when they'd bring him up for like 5 games here, 2 games there. He would hit really good whenever he'd play, which was not very often. So like very small sample size and not a lot of consistent time. He was still doing good. So this guy's going to be a good hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, one of my guys on my DH spot, I have to take out because I thought he was going to be the DH for... I thought he was going to be the DH for the Blue Jays, but now he's going over to Korea to play there.
Okay.
So he is not going to be their DH. But that was my number 5.
Which guy?
Jared Hoying.
Oh, okay.
So here's my DH rankings: Shohei Ohtani, Franmil Reyes, Nelson Cruz, Gavin Sheets. I'm gonna skip Jared Hoying, and then Seth Beer, Orlando Arcia, Colton Welker, Mitch Moreland, Chris Davis.
Okay.
I couldn't leave out Chris Davis.
Yeah, and then I didn't understand the assignment, and I totally forgot to do DH rankings, so I'm just going to go with Jake's rankings and say yes for those DH.
Well, let's go over the last 5, because everybody knows the first 4, Ohtani, Reyes, Cruz, and you should know Gavin Sheets by now.
Yeah.
If you play fantasy baseball, but if you don't, he's for the White Sox. Young guy, he can really slug it. Yep. So he'll be
the next Anthony Rizzo in Chicago.
I'm not going to go that far. Like Rizzo's a legend.
Yeah,
but,
I can only hope.
He should be. I mean, he was one of our top prospects, and the fact that we can use him at DH now is awesome.
Yep.
But then Seth Beer is a Diamondbacks hitter, and he had offseason surgery, but people are pretty high on him just with this universal DH now. I think this guy's going to get it, so I added him to my list here.
Okay. Looking for this guy.
Orlando Arcia. I said that right. On the Atlanta Braves, just because at the end of the list of DH is a weak position, right? You want to go with the DH on good teams. And Orlando Arcia is 27 years old, and it looks like he could be their DH. I mean, I don't know if he gets fully confirmed yet, but he's locked in. He just got a contract with them. He's locked in with them through 2023. He was a former top prospect. At the major league level, his batting average is .242. And he used to play some outfielder as well, but so basically he's like their utility guy, but now they can just play him at DH, you know what I mean? So they can always use him even if he's not playing defense that day, like he could always be their DH. So it'd be a guy that would probably have DH designation, maybe shortstop, maybe outfield, so you'd have options.
Okay.
So possible good player there. I mean, all these at the end of the list, I guess you could say are like, it's not official yet that they're DHs. Besides Chris Davis, we know has been a DH before, right?
Yeah.
Colton Welker for the Rockies. Let's see here. He was playing third base for them, but I think he's projected to be their DH. I want to make sure of this. If you want to look any other guy up too, Zach, but let's see here. Huh. It says MLB will likely have the universal DH in 2022, and he's like one of those candidates that would fit well in it. So, yeah. And it's a hitter-friendly park, so I guess guys on good teams or hitter-friendly parks is what you're looking for. I mean, I could be totally boshing this, but... And then Mitch Morland.
Okay.
For the Oakland Athletics. You've heard of this guy before.
Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He was hurt at the end of last year. Doesn't say much. Just that they have... Because Chris Davis went somewhere else, didn't he?
I have not followed much.
Okay. Hold on. No, Chris Davis is a free agent.
Okay. Fox should sign him.
Yeah, I put him on here just because I know he's had really good years before. Now it's a universal DH. He's going to be signed, right?
I would think so.
At the list I was looking at, he wasn't in the top 10, probably just because he's not signed, but as soon as he's signed, dude, you got to imagine he's the number 5 DH available.
Probably, yeah.
I think he was 11 on the list I was looking at, but yeah. And then, so we talked about Mitch Morland, right? So that'll be for Oakland because now Chris Davis is gone, so they're going with Mitch Morland.
Yep.
And the guy I moved Chris Davis above was Joey Bart. If we want to talk about him, but San Francisco Giants. That'll probably be their DH. And he's a catcher prospect, but he could also just play DH for them. So, because they already have a good catcher, don't they? God, who's their catcher? He had a bounce back year last year. He had a bounce back year.
Posey?
I think so, yeah. So this guy could come up and slug it, you know? Yeah, they had Buster Posey. Or still do.
Yep.
Yeah, he got comeback player of the year last year. So this guy would be, even though he's a prospect for catcher, he would probably be backup catcher he'd fill in, and then he could play DH. Or they switch off, you know? But anyway, unless you have any more DHs, Zach.
No, I don't. I think that's solid list of DHs.
I think Chris Davis, big, if you don't have a DH by the end of the draft, even if he's undrafted, maybe you just take a flyer, like he'll be picked up.
Yeah, that's kind of like a flyer. I agree. I'm kind of circling him for like very late.
Yeah, I feel like he could have a comeback player of the year kind of year.
Yeah.
He had a horrible year last year.
Yeah.
This is a guy who was always drafted by, in our drafts, at least, you know what I mean? Like it's usually a guy that was drafted for those home runs.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
All right, and that'll do it though for our first baseball episode.
Baseball.
Off-season moves, top 10 rankings at each position. Next episode, we're going to do a mock draft, and we could probably release, Zach, our full rankings, like all combined.
Oh, I thought you meant like we were going to release Zach next week.
Yeah, let him out of the cage. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, this is fun, dude.
Good shit.
I'm getting pumped for baseball here.
We're super pumped, guys, for baseball.
Oh my god.
But yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give us a follow on all our social media. You know, we got Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports podcast. We got Instagram, instagram.com/Garden of Sports. And we got Twitter, twitter.com/GOSpod2021. And once again, hit that thick subscribe button. You know, give us that follow.
Yes, sir.
You won't regret it. It'll be super fun. And we'll catch you with a fresh one next week.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.